Almost there. One more setting. And one more piece of the unique is operational.
One down, 1 million to go. Speaking of which, boss, I found exactly none of the parts you wanted. A whole day at the junk pile, and all I turn up are a locker and some stupid conduits. Maybe next time. Boss, are you sure you got those settings right?
That came from down in engineering. Let's go. There's no time for that. There's no time for that.
Boss?
Crispin, get behind me. Who are you and what do you want?
Power.
I think he wants the power core, boss.
Stop right there. This ship belongs to me.
Forfeit. Enemy. Plunder.
I don't think he's too keen on private property.
Get away from the power core.
Forfeit.
Boss? Boss? Horatio? Come on, Horatio, wake up!
Ugh.
Whew, you're okay.
What happened?
Well, Big Ugly threw you out of the ship, and then he said plunder, again, and then he left with our power core.
Assad.
Yep,
How much charge have you got?
10%. You?
I'll be fine. We just need to get the emergency generator up and running. I told you it needed to be repaired.
Or we could just go to Metropole, city of glass and light. Free energy for one and all.
Don't believe everything you hear. Metropole is trouble. But if you want to go, we've got free will in a maglev unit.
With that guilt subroutine you put in me, I wouldn't even make it halfway.
Actually, with a 10% charge, you wouldn't even get that far. So I suggest we get the generator working.
You and your projects.
Man built us to build, Crispin. Now, come on. I must have dropped the data pouch when I was thrown out of the unique. Assad, its memory got wiped. Easy enough to add the good old junk pile's coordinates back in, though. The data pouch is registered to me. I can't just scoop it up. It's a segment of Gordium electrical conduit. A sturdy cable. There's supposed to be a power-bearing conduit between this socket and the ship, but I never got around to putting one together.
Now who's the procrastinator?
It's not going to do anything until the generator's fixed. Crispin, when I told you to find a new spark plug, did you just shove my conductive putty into the old one?
Maybe.
No wonder the generator isn't working. At least the putty is still good. It's the Unique's tag. Without it, I'd have never known the ship's name.
Apparently, building a giant airship doesn't require proper spelling.
Apparently not. A small lump of electrically conductive putty. More Gordium conduit. There's no way I can reach that. Could you grab that lantern?
Sure thing, boss.
You know, I always wanted to be able to fly. That's why I built you with a maglev unit.
Not so that you could store tools on hard-to-reach ledges?
Well, that too. A reliable electric lantern that I cobbled together years ago. Totally unilluminating.
So that's where you keep it.
Why were you looking for my plasma torch?
No reason.
It couldn't hurt to bring the gospel of man with us.
Going to pray for a miracle, boss?
We are man's miracle, Crispin. Let's hope that's enough. I've read enough. The controls for this hatch are unresponsive. Good thing there's still some power in the circuit.
Boss, shouldn't you have thought of that before coming down here? We could have been stuck.
I could have just ridden you back to the deck.
Really?
No. Routing that much power to your maglev unit would cause it to explode.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I couldn't find a working fuse to solve the problem.
I'm a floating bomb. I'm a floating bomb. Sweet.
I can't see anything to do with it. It's 3 pieces of Gordium conduit. Unfortunately, one of them is completely corroded and worthless. It's locked tight. There's a piece of gordium conduit way back there. I can't reach the... Let's see if this works.
Is that a spark plug, boss? Who locks up a spark plug?
Actually, I think that box was some kind of machine.
You killed it!
Recycled it. Crispin, can you go in there and get that piece of conduit?
I suppose. That would have been a lot easier with hands, boss.
It won't work until they're locked together. Time for a little welding.
Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be.
The generator is missing a spark plug.
Whew, I thought we were in trouble when Big Ugly stole our core. But just like that, problem solved.
The problem is not solved.
Well, I agree. The noise leaves something to be desired.
This is an emergency generator, Crispin.
Well, it was an emergency, boss.
It only runs for a few days, if that.
Oh. Well, do we have another one?
No, which means it still is an emergency.
Well, in that case, first dibs on the recharge station. So, what's the plan, boss?
We need to recover our power core.
Or we could just take the train to Metropole and live in luxury.
First of all, there is no train to Metropole. And second, even with full charges, we can't just walk there. But more importantly, I hate that city. It's in my core logic. I don't know why, but I can't change it.
Okay, okay. In that case, can't you just make us a new power core?
Yes, but I need some kind of strong energy source for that.
Can you just make one of those, too? I'm just asking.
No, but somewhere around here are the plans for an energy sensor.
That's awfully convenient.
I designed it a long time ago, before I made you. I even found a sodium iodide crystal to use in the sensor, though man alone knows where it's buried now.
Weary wanderers, come, join us in Metropole, city of glass and light. Our energy is shared with all robots. Here is haven for all and strength in numbers.
I found this in the dunes.
Join us
It
in
reads,
Metropole.
pound pastrami,
Geocoordinates
canned
894.
kraut, 6 bagels,
All
bring
are
home for
equal in
Emma.
Metropole, equal parts of the greater whole. Join weary wanderers.
It's Crispin's to-do list. Funny how it never gets any shorter.
That's your fault, boss, not mine.
The original designs for Crispin.
Hey, there are arms here, and an awesome set of tractor treads.
I went with a maglev unit instead, and I never could find good arms. There's the design. I'll put the keynotes into my data pouch.
How does it even work?
The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. The cable carries the pulse to the computer. The computer decodes the information and displays it on the monitor.
Boss, where are we going to find a working computer?
The Unique is full of them.
Oh, right.
The energy sensor requires a sodium iodide crystal connected to a cable, which in turn needs to be connected to a CPU and a monitor. I bet I can find a better use for this plug.
But now we can't listen to the sweet voice of Metropole.
I guess that makes two birds. There's nothing I can do with it until I have some kind of power source. I don't think that would be wise.
Wow, first the power core and now a rag. This is not your day.
Aha! Here's the crystal.
Right under our noses. That is, if we had noses.
Let's cut a little cable off.
Are you really trying to build us an energy sensor from a bunch of garbage?
Crispin, I built you from a bunch of garbage.
From spare parts, boss. Spare parts.
Well, just goes to show. Garbage in, greatness out. Maybe I can find some other use for these. Now we just need to check out these coordinates.
But didn't you just tell me we don't have enough power to go walking all over the dunes?
No, I said we couldn't walk to Metropole. Anyway, most of these are close by.
But what if it's picking up, oh, I don't know, a radioactive rust monster?
A what?
Or a giant cannibal robot?
There's no such thing.
Or an unexploded bomb?
I highly doubt that.
Or a giant lightning storm?
Okay, you're right. We need to know what's out there before we take off. It's just a matter of figuring out how.
Why is nothing easy?
I can think of one reason. The crystal pulses when it absorbs energy. Nothing but radioactive waste. We can't salvage anything from that.
You know, boss, if you're ever wondering what I would do, feel free to just ask.
I'll keep that in mind.
Boss? That looks like a giant cannibal robot to me.
It looks promising is what it looks like.
And with that, poor doomed Horatio stuck his head into the giant's mouth.
That's strange. The sensor detected an energy source in the junk pile. Maybe we should go look more carefully. Strange. There's some kind of odd device surrounded by glass. Whatever that machine is, it must be throwing off some kind of energy.
Why do I not like the sound of this? Hopefully, finding the power core will be just as easy.
I doubt it.
That was a perfectly good rag.
Good for what?
You could have buffed me till I shined, boss. At least then, when they found my powerless chassis lying in the dunes, they'd say, wow, look at that gorgeous piece of machinery.
I think I'd rather have some grease. Man's creation.
That is one big robot.
Then it must have a big power core.
I'm pretty sure he wants to eat me, boss.
Robots don't eat, Crispin.
Look how he's staring at me.
It's not staring at anything.
No, not yet anyway.
Well, we have to find a way to get at its power core. Let's look around. It's corroded, but I can't break into it with my bare hands.
Boss, are you really gonna cut that finger off?
Just the tip,
Why?
to see if we can get at power cables to tap into.
You sure you're not just torturing the poor guy?
No, but to tell you the truth, for some reason I don't like the look of him.
That's what I've been saying all along, boss.
Just let me concentrate. Bugs and glitches. There are no power lines running through here at all. All that for a rusty fingertip.
Can it generate power?
No.
Just checking.
Anyone home? Crispin, help me take a look at these vents. I can feel air moving. I can feel air moving. There's no way I can reach that. Could you try pushing this rag into the vent?
Seriously?
Yes.
So much for getting buffed. There, it's clogged. I hope you're happy.
There's no way I can reach that. Crispin, try shoving this into that vent.
There's something ironic about that. Ironic and disturbing. Well, boss, you did it again.
In we go.
We?
Oh, by the hand of man, come on.
I'm telling you, boss, that thing wants to eat me.
Crispin.
Fine, but you go first.
Hello, unidentified robot. We were too. Parts of the grid.
The great what?
That data is lost.
Well, I am Horatio No-Built, version 5.
Now we are Alpha and Beta. More or less.
Boss, I'm pretty sure these guys took one EMP blast too many along the line.
There's no way for me to get up there. It's a deactivated keypad. What happened to you?
Virus. Doom. Escape. Too much data. Too little memory. Back. Incomplete. Division. Fragmentation. Madness.
You got that right.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has large claws that shoot lasers. Have you seen it? It stole something of mine.
The answer is lost. Fragmented. Gamma. We seek unification. Resurrection. Vengeance. Find Gamma. Unity. Memories. Answers. He knows, but he's not mad. Mad.
Pot, meat, kettle.
Do you have a power core?
Activating diagnostic module. Memory and reasoning system. Shut down for virus quarantine. Higher reasoning downloaded to servitors. Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. Memory and reasoning system. Shut down for virus quarantine. Higher reasoning downloaded to servitors. Alpha.
Boss, is it just me, or did Alpha just stop being...
Air ventilation system. Primary ventilators clogged. Obstruction unknown. Secondary ventilation engaged. Air ventilation system. Primary ventilators clogged. Obstruction unknown. Secondary ventilation engaged. Power system. Partially damaged. Power level functioning at 83.1%. Power core charge sufficient to maintain present operations for 4,553,199,011.3 hours. Power system. Partially damaged. Power level functioning at...
That's a lot of hours.
Communication system.
Okay, enough.
Terminating diagnostic.
You're an incomplete backup?
We are Alpha. Data. Answer deemed unsatisfactory. Higher reasoning. Unavailable. Gamma. Gamma. Gamma knows.
Who is Gamma?
Third. Highest. Deepest. Mad. Gamma. Gamma. Fine. Gamma will complete. Restore. You like? Gamma.
So, they need Gamma in order to defragment themselves and return to a single entity.
Since when do you speak crazy?
I've spent my whole life with a hermit who worships a mythological machine called man. I'd say crazy is my first language.
Where is Gamma?
Below. Hiding. Would not. Join. Always. Hiding. Below.
Can we have your power core?
No. Gamma. Perhaps. Perhaps. Gamma. Yes.
Gamma might say yes.
Yes.
How can I use the elevator?
Loading key code database. Bomb detonation prefix 6.
What prefix?
Elevator code 9876.
Wow, these guys could learn a thing or two about security.
But the keypad is deactivated.
System reboot code. System reboot code. System reboot code.